I'm sure they were very happy to see me go. I did theater for the first 3, 4, 5 years. After that, I started doing little TV film gigs. And Henry, I was in the middle of doing a play. It was a play called Sea Marks, a 2-person play, Irish play, and the director of that play did the prosthetic heads and things like that for Henry. And he said, "Hey, dude, they're doing this little TNA thing. You should audition for this thing. They can't find the guy." So I thought about it, and I was like on my way to work one day, and I pulled by. I said, "Oh yeah, this is the place." So I pulled by. I knocked on the door, and John McNaughton came in. And I came in. John McNaughton was there. I did the audition and got the role. I was ecstatic. I got the lead role in a film. I had never done a film before. It was my first film. And so I was freaked out. So I was like, "Oh man, I don't know if I can do this." And as you know, I mean, earlier in this little talk, I said that those are the kind of gigs where I do my best work, when I don't really know if I can do this or not. If it looks really hard, that's when I usually come through in the end.
Is that advice that you would impart to everyone else to challenge themselves?
Oh, totally. I mean, when I look back on my work and I see the jobs that I've done, and I see pieces that my job in most of my career has been to try to find a way and try to find a through line or some way to make this role. Actually, to be honest, to try to make the role different and intriguing and difficult. So my internal work and preparation, I make it more difficult than it's written, just so that it gives me some sort of challenge. Because Henry is extremely challenging. And almost everything after Henry has been a real cakewalk, to be honest.
We got a few more questions. Mic 5 on the left-hand side, up right back.
Hey, I was wondering, what was it like to work with Denzel Washington in The Bone Collector?
We had a few scenes together, but he was always in the bed. And we had that one scene together when he was walking in the beginning of the piece where he's going down the tunnel. And I'm telling him not to go. He's right, should go down there and let somebody else do their job. Don't stick your nose in where you're not supposed to be. And he did that, and look what happened to him. Unfortunately, he ended up in a bed and only able to move his pinky. And Angelina Jolie falls in love with him. And so, he gets the girl, and he gets to chill out and hang out in bed. And I have to, stand around, walk around, and do all the physical stuff.
We've also seen you do comedy with Mallrats, working with Kevin Smith.
Oh yeah!
That was a hilarious
Mallrats, I love Mallrats.
Tell us about that experience shooting that film.
Oh yeah, it was what an experience it was. I mean, Mallrats. You're doing who are the talents in that, man?
Jason Mewes. Jason Lee.
Jason Lee.
You're gonna have to help me out with this.
I
haven't seen it in years. Kevin Smith has.
Kevin Smith?
Yes,
No, awesome. Can't say enough about those guys and doing that piece. Mallrats was, we did in the middle of winter. The mall we took over this entire mall. And I just remember that I wasn't a boarder, and all the other guys were boarders, and they brought their skateboards, they skateboards, they had heavy skateboards for like 10 years, they got all the graffiti on them, and they're really cool, they do all the flips and all the turning, and all that kind of stuff, and I was like, wow, you know what? I bet one of these guys I bet they would give me some lessons. So I got some lessons. I said, well, no, man, use my board. And so I used their boards. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I ended up breaking at least 3 of their boards. You know, you do the flip thing.
You try.
And you jump up, and then you jump back down on the board. Well, when I jump back down on the board, it goes, oh, I don't think it's supposed to do that. I busted your board, dude. I'm so sorry. And the guy's going looking at me and going like, it's okay, man. It's okay. The board is not his favorite board in his whole life. He sleeps with his board. And
they're all successful now. They can buy new ones.
Damn right they can.
Mike 4, center right. He's standing up right.
Hi, just a short one for you. In Merl, do you think if he was bitten, he would prefer to stay as a walker or get put out of his misery?
Oh, that's a good question. This is sort of a thing you should tell your loved ones, right? I mean, if I get bitten, do me in right away, or put me on a chain and cut off my arms, my jaw, and leave me around. What should they do, you're asking? Well, you know what, I think definitely, you don't become a walker right away, and I don't think I would allow anyone else to do me in. So, yeah, I think I just do it myself. Absolutely. I say, ciao baby, I'm out of here.
Mike 5, center at the back, right there.
So since that Merl got left on the roof and is wandering the countryside as we know it, do you think that if he were to meet the governor or be one of his minions, do you think that Merl would actually overpower or, just overpower the governor's character?
That's a very far-reaching question. Dude, I have no idea. I don't know where I'm at. And I couldn't tell you where I was, even if I could, because, you know, I think there are people working on that kind of stuff, and I'm not privy to any of that information. Yeah, but that's a good question. I just don't know. I feel uncomfortable kind of getting into that realm of what's going to be, you know, what's going to be. Because I don't know, and I don't want to influence myself on what's going on with this role.
I think it's safe to say if we do get any scenes between the governor and Merl, they're going to be some great scenes, some intense scenes. Suffice to say.
I guess you could say that, yeah.
We're going to Mike 4 on the right. Oh, it's a little Joker, if I'm not mistaken.
Thank you. I was wondering, Daryl has good survival skills, and I was wondering if Merl taught them to Daryl.
Oh yeah! Merl has taught Daryl everything he knows. I mean, look how good he is with women. Yes, Merl taught Daryl. He's a good teacher, don't you think?
Mike 5 was up there? Mike 4.
Mike 4, come on up.
Oh, right behind where we were.
Hi, I have a question. Do you need fun stories from the set of Slither?
Slither.
I only have horrific stories on the set of Slither. James Gunn was not a very likable person. He was a disgusting human being, and me as Grant was horrible. The writing was actually quite good, and James Gunn's my buddy. We get together all the time and have cheese and wine. It's sort of torture because I just discovered that cheese and wine is like having cheese and wine, carbs and fat, and he's been poisoning me. He's been poisoning me every Sunday evening, you know, because we have cheese and wine parties. There at his house, and he furnishes all the cheese, and everybody brings their own wine and everything, and here I am, been eating and consuming cheese and wine all this time, and thinking that, wow, this is really good, and it is really good, delicious, but I've read that it's not a good thing to eat at the same time. You know, carbs and fats, cheese and wine is supposed to be not a good idea. So, but I like it anyway. And you cut out carbs and fat. When you cut out carbs and fat, what do you cut out? Donuts, right? Flavor, yummy, yummy, yummy mashed potatoes and gravy. You know, you can no longer have Thanksgiving dinner.
I love that she asked about Slither. We're getting a nutrition education.
Yeah. What was the question? Slither, yeah? Yeah, well, in Slither, what does Grant eat? Meat. Grant loves meat. And there you have it. And look what happened to him. You know? His teeth grew, and never mind.
I got time for just a couple more questions, maybe Mike 6, center left, right down the aisle. Oh, doing a little shimmy there.
I have a two-part question. One is, do you think Merl blames Rick for losing his hand? And two, does Merl believe in an eye for an eye or a hand for a hand?
Merl doesn't like Rick. Merl didn't like Rick even before Rick was Rick. I don't think Merl likes anyone in a uniform. Period. And getting struck by the butt end of a rifle does not sit well with Merl. And first of all, and you know, also, you know, he took out of my pocket a little packet. And at that time, Merl was very into whatever was in that little packet. And he didn't like that at all. No, Merl doesn't like Rick. And there's, you know, hand for a hand, eye for an eye, I don't know, that biblical, you know, whatever, toe for a toe, who knows? We'll see.
Well, last question for you, Ben. What is the next challenge for Michael Rooker? How are you going to challenge yourself next in life? What can we look forward to?
Well, right now, I'm going to be, you know, just trying to survive the rest of the day here. I mean, I have to go through these lines too, you know. I'm a fan too. The Call of the Dead, you know, together, and you know, I want an autograph too. So it's kind of hard, you know, and I have to sit at the table over there and not get my stuff. So could somebody go get me some things?
I'm sure someone will oblige. Michael Rooker, and he'll be signing autographs at Anchor Bay.